I'm here with James, fresh back from
Yes.
his tour of Australia, and and he's back for the London derby, the podium derby as I was calling it. Arsenal 1-0 today. I think we both agreed it wasn't the greatest of games, but a win is a win is a win, nevertheless, yeah?
I'd fly another 22 hours over watching that game back. Oh my word.
To be fair, I thought the first half was decent. We got the goal, and we're thinking, yeah, it's a decent first half, quite eventful.
Yeah.
There's some tackles going in. It was looking a bit lively. But if I'm being honest, man, the second half just didn't get going at all for both teams, I would say.
It was okay. All right, let's add some context. We're missing Saka and a recognised striker, and they're missing Palmer and a recognised striker too. And so you could see there was a real lack of quality, I think, in the final third for both. We ended the game with 40% possession, so Arsenal were very happy to just kind of nullify Chelsea. And it's something we said on the watch long. We are good at nullifying teams generally. I mean, for everything we didn't do against Forest, for example, one of the things we did do is actually nullify their counter-attack. They're a side that have scored goals, been really good on the counter-attack this season. We are, Man United was a great... Actually, to be fair, we didn't really nullify their counter-attack in the second half. But that first half, we sort of had them pinned in. We're quite good at having a setup that gets us a foothold in the game. We never really build on it. Now, look, you can blame injuries to a degree. I think you can blame coaching to a degree too. There's just a lack of quality in this Arsenal team. But we needed to win today because whilst I was very much a bit apathetic, kind of what we're here for, you need to secure that second place. You didn't want to let Forest creep up more. You didn't want to let Chelsea cut it to 3 points. And City haven't been putting points on the board. And weirdly, we've actually still been extending that lead to them, despite the form we've been in. So, look, if you're not going to finish first, and it's so disappointing that we're not, just at least don't get dragged into some fight you don't want to be a part of. Keep it simple. Keep things ticking in the Premier League, and really all eyes are on the Champions League. And that's why I'm watching these performances, trying to think, is Mourinho doing something that makes me think, yeah, he can be a threat or be a nuisance for Real Madrid? Is Martinelli or Trossard or whenever they playing themselves into some form? Is Odegaard rediscovering it? And the reality is most of those answers are no at the moment. And I think that's where, despite winning, it just feels a touch flat. But it is a win, and beating Chelsea will always be nice.
So you don't think the Real Madrid manager watching that game will be sweating?
No. No, look...
You don't think he'll be quaking in his boots, no?
From within the four walls of Arsenal, we know our problems, and I think we all feel a bit apathetic's a good word, a bit like, oh, here we go again. Ancelotti and Real Madrid, for all their class, they will always, have a respect and an understanding for what we do well and try to stop it. But the reality is, if they turn up and do their thing, then, long day for us. But I think I'm not looking at this version of Arsenal today from a player perspective to go up against Real Madrid. I mean, I'm looking at Saka to be back, and hopefully he is. I mean, that's not to put pressure on him. He should only play if he's absolutely fit. But if it's Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, and you've got one of Trossard, in that false nine, maybe I don't think it should be Marino, then I think that's a front three that can cause Real Madrid some problems. But it's not just about getting the players back. Did I see an attacking cohesion today that made me think, yeah, we can really hurt them? Because that's the big thing we're looking forward to for the rest of the season. And yeah, there's a bit lacking, but I feel like I'm being really negative, Laura.
Yeah, I mean, you know what?
Today.
Let's not look too far ahead because as we say in boxing, styles make fights.
Yeah, but you can understand why.
Yeah.
Sorry, because there was some of that in the watch on. People were going, just focus on today. Worry about Real Madrid later. But I want us to come out with major silverware, and that's the next hurdle in that step. Because the Premier League's done, so I keep wondering, what are we seeing? And it doesn't have to be a massively cohesive, brilliant performance from the team. Is it individuals? Is it something that makes me think, well, maybe they're going to step up to it, whatever? I think we're just short of that, if I'm really honest. But, yeah, positives. We beat Chelsea today, because I think we're good at nullifying teams. They have some attacking talent, but they were quite poor as well, Chelsea. I expected a bit more from them too, despite losing Palmer and Jackson for this game. So, we're quite good at making games boring, and I don't really even mean that as a criticism. I think that can be a positive. I think we're quite good at sapping the randomness out of games and having control of them. But 1-0, you never really feel totally in control. But when you reflect on it, what did Chelsea really do today? So credit to Arsenal for that. We are a well-structured, well-coached team that can really really, nullified the opposition. I've said that 10 times now, but you got my point.
Yeah, well, I mean, the positives are obvious. We won the game. I mean, like you said, we need the points to secure the second place. We're on the road to doing that. We kept a clean sheet, stopped Chelsea from scoring, didn't really look too troubled in that second half especially. I think so. Those are the positives. Marino got a goal.
Yeah, it's a really
people were
good
saying
goal.
before the game, is that experiment about amounting to much? He got a goal today, so you could say he did well. Man of the match for Arsenal. Who stood out for you today? I know that's not the easiest of questions, but who do you think stood out?
Well, look, Marino got the goal. I think Timber did well at right back. I thought Lewis Skelly had a good game at left back. I thought Partey first half was really bright. Rice was everywhere. Look, I wasn't really enamoured with any performance, if I'm honest. I don't think if I were doing a player ratings, I'd give anyone above a 7. Marino's an interesting one. I said at half time that I wasn't really... I know he scored. So it's like, shut up, James. But it's like... he wasn't really in the game, you know, and we do look to our nines to drop in and add an extra midfielder and give us something in terms of a focal point. And I thought I was sort of, you know, I said it and I felt, you know, am I being too harsh? But then we found out he had 7 touches in the first half. I mean, that's not what you expect of the Arsenal, of the particular way we play with our forwards. Was Marino asked to be more of a focal point? He wasn't drifting left and right like you normally expect him to. But he got the goal and won us the match. So I think the man of the match is probably the man that got the goal that won his team 3 points. So if you're going on literal definition, then I'll give it to Marino. But yeah, it was no one really kind of came out.
I'm getting the
that.
feeling you feel rather underwhelmed, or is it the jet lag kicking in? Which is it?
Listen,
or is it both?
I was up at 6 a.m, 3 hours sleep. Yeah, I'm jet lagged as hell. Don't get me wrong. So I'm not feeling my most enthused. But look, it's good to be back. It's good to see Arsenal win a Premier League game. I said before the game that Chelsea ruined my childhood. I mean, I grew up with Chelsea fans around me, and they would always beat us. They'd come to the Emirates, they'd slap us 3-0. We'd go to Stamford Bridge, we wouldn't come out with anything. They'd bully us. They were faster, they were more physical, they were champions. They lift the Premier League at least once every 2-3 years. My friends would laugh in my face about it all the time. So beating Chelsea is always great. I'm just trying to look at it from a slightly bigger picture. I acknowledge the injuries. I acknowledge some of the stuff that we can't do anything about. And then there's everything when you talk about January and the summer that we could have done more about. And I even think for this game, I think he could have gone Waneri on the right with Trossard in the false 9 and Martin on the left. That feels like something a little bit more long-term and a little bit more tangible for Arsenal to build on. I mean, what's the end goal with Marino up front? What are we trying to get to? To a point where Marino establishes himself as a forward option in this squad? No, he'll revert back to midfield if we finally do what we have to do in the market. So, and we get players back fit. So, yeah, look, I'm sorry. I am sorry. I'm sorry. We won. We won 1-0. I know we did. That was a very good win in the context of don't get involved in the top 4, top 5 BS, basically. But that's not where we want it to be at this point this season. And in terms of preparing for Madrid, and we have still a 2-week international break and some more football to play for then, it didn't do a lot for me in that sense. But whatever, we won. And sometimes you just got to get the points and tick it over, especially when we haven't won. For what? Was that our first win in 3 games? Because what did we do? We
drew against United,
drew against
Forest
and lost
to West Ham.
So actually, yeah, in that sense, it was important to get back to winning ways. So, well done.